Hi, and welcome to the 10 square metre workshop. Today I'm continuing my big box build. This time I'm going to make the door and fit it. And if that sounds simple, it really isn't. It fits in a rather complex way. I would never have designed it that way, but here we go. I'm sure we'll find problems to solve along the way. Coming up after this. The door is 5-piece with a fielded panel in the middle. So first job is to do that fielding. The router bit I hoped to use turned out to be too small, so I had to invest in a rather larger one. Trouble is, this is not going to fit inside the cutout and our top plate. So I made a false top out of ply. I also fitted a peg for support when entering and leaving the cutter. After 3 passes, I'm the cautious sort, I have the feeling I need. Little bit of burning, but only in areas that will be inside the joint. I've now put the panels through the thickness and removed 3mm from the back, and the edge is now the 6mm required for the tongue. The next job was to cut the grooves on the surrounding parts. With the panel fitting in the new grooves, it's time for a fine sand of the areas that will be difficult to access. Great care was taken cutting the tongues on the side pieces. These are not symmetrical and it's all too easy to cut the wrong side. Dry fit seems pretty tight, so I'll go for the glue up. Released from the clamps, it was cut slightly oversized and then thoroughly sanded. It's now a fitting job, getting as good a match to the opening as possible. Well, that's the left hand side matching. It's now a friction fit in this base, so I'll have to ease a bit off, otherwise I'll never get it open. On the final egg, I'm using a 0.05mm feeler gauge to check for the high spots. Yep, one there, another one there. I'm doing the final fitting with a Permagrip sanding block. These are excellent, dual-sided, rough and fine. Means you can remove material and smooth it just by flipping it over, and it lasts almost forever. Highly recommend it. Now it's in as a clearance fit. Notice I'm using a piece of Jaffa tape so I can get it open. Yeah, it's called Jaffa tape because it's orange. A 6mm pin engages in the slot to slide the door home. This needs to be inserted into the door fairly precisely. It's too big to drill in the drill press, so I'm using a piece of aluminium angle as a guide to squareness as I drill by hand. I'm using a brad point drill. It's easy at the centre. Looks square. With both pins in, you're supposed to be able to cant the door at an angle and get them both to engage. All I can say is it requires a lot slacker fit of the door than I'm prepared to have. Time to think it out again. And this is my answer to the problem. A piece of 8mm brass drilled and reamed 6mm, a turned pin and a spring. Put them together and you have a retracting pin. The whole thing just inserts into the end. So let's give it a try. A little stiff, but then the originals were too. And I should be putting some candle wax on, but not until after I've stained it. Well, I'm glad that bit's done and dusted. I wasn't looking forward to it. Glad it's behind me now. I hope you found this interesting. It will join me again for the next stage. Bye for now.